安心しろ、子供たち。サンタクロースはここにいる。
From the author of BEASTARS comes a series with the main character we were all expecting, Santa Claus. As an anime for the manga series, SANDA has been confirmed to premiere on October 3rd with the studio behind Dun Da Dun, Science Saru, animating. SANDA is a series that you can tell right away is going to be something bizarre, and well, it indeed is. Set in a warped future Japan where seasons are unstable, children under 15 are treated like national treasures, and Santa Claus has been erased from memory. The story follows a timid class rep named Sanda. One day, his classmate Fuyumura, a rebellious, knife-wielding girl, stabs Sanda in a desperate attempt to summon Santa Claus. And it works, because as it turns out, Sanda is a direct descendant of the original Santa and can now transform into a hulking, bearded adult when wearing red or in moments of danger. But with this transformation comes a burden. Sanda is now expected to fulfill Santa's legacy, granting wishes and protecting children in a society where both are heavily policed. At first glance, it sounds ridiculous, but much like Beastars, Sanda uses absurdity to explore very real societal anxieties. In this case, aging, capitalism, fertility decline, and the commercialization of affection. In Sanda, children are seen as the future assets in a society that has all but stopped reproducing, maybe attempting to address the birth rate problem still alive in Japan today. As a result, they live under strict government protection, pampered, surveyed, and emotionally stunted. Additionally, Christmas, once a symbol of unconditional giving, is outlawed in this consumerist dystopia. Gifts must now be earned or bought, and Santa, a figure who gives freely, is seen as a subversive threat to capitalistic order. Even aging is unnatural. The school's principal and our first villain is 92 years old but appears youthful thanks to the countless surgeries. Despite this, the story quickly transforms into a fantasy adventure driven by Fuyumura's unwavering determination to find Ono, her missing classmate, and the reason for summoning Santa and maybe restore Christmas too. Sanda, initially bewildered and reluctant, soon enough readies himself to bring back Christmas. Despite this interesting premise, I think the series fails to build this world out fully. With a lack of proper elaboration with clear mechanisms or systemic consequences, the supposedly futuristic world has very little sense of being futuristic. The technology, surveillance, or enforcement methods are scarcely detailed, bringing about loopholes in the plot. Sanda, possibly short for Santa Claus Da, which means is real in Japanese, starts off as a typical nobody, awkward, passive, and going through puberty. But the moment he transforms, he not only takes on Santa's physique, he gains the perspective of an adult, and most importantly, Santa's instinct, an innate desire to protect children, to grant wishes. This duality is an interesting concept, wherein as a teenager, Sanda sees the grown-up like Fuyumura as a mature and intimidating girl, even having feelings for her, while as Santa, he sees her as a little child, like the others who must be taken care of. Some of Santa Claus's powers as a character are made quite lore-specific, with his ability to spot those who lie, as Santa Claus should have a mechanism to analyze the children who haven't been good. Despite this, the idea that Sanda is a descendant of the original Santa Claus and that Santa has been culturally erased is surprisingly underexplored, especially given how central it is. Similar to Legoshi from Beastars, there is an introspective nature with Sanda, also seeking to understand who he really is. And while in Beastars it was more akin to psychological introspection, here we truly have two distinct identities and decidedly more humorous tone to this quest for identity. Initially a mysterious and violent figure, Fuyumura is later revealed to be intelligent, suspicious of authority, and carrying a personal mission, who acts like a moral compass and realist, often clashing with Sanda's emotional instincts. She is also one of the few characters who sees the cracks in society early on, acting both as foil and a partner to Sanda. Proven with Beastars and doing it here too. The artwork is unique and exquisite, with expressive characters, but I do think there are problems with their somewhat disproportionate character designs. Coming to what looks promising. First off, Saint Saru. Their animation quality is almost always fluid, eccentric, and emotionally expressive, even when it's ugly on purpose. The trailer already looks great. Distorted camera angles, fluid cuts, and tonal shifts that match the manga's rhythm, so most likely nothing can go wrong here. But what could go wrong is the pacing. Sanda moves fast in the manga. Events are abrupt, which works in print but not on screen. If the anime doesn't flesh out the world better than the manga, anime-only viewers will be confused. Additionally, Sanda is a story that jumps between stabbing and suspense to slapstick Santa transformations with absurd comedy to quiet sadness. It can feel like abrupt mood swings rather than narrative evolution. Not to mention Tomohisa Shimoyama's first series directorial work Yurei Deko struggled with pacing, resulting in a series too abstract, too fast, and too disconnected for many viewers, which has a risk of being repeated. The other potential pitfall is the character style themselves. The sometimes off-putting character designs might come across as a complexity barrier for casual anime fans looking for something more conventional. Personally, Sanda will at the very least be an interesting anime to try out, and a large part of that is because it's a Christmas anime. You get plenty of Christmas episodes, but not entire stories centered around the holiday's meaning, let alone twisted in a way that family, joy, and giving are examined through a dystopian lens. Objectively, I feel Sanda will initially gain some hype, but in the long run will have a hard time maintaining mainstream traction. This is mainly due to its core concept. Santa Claus as a muscular teenager in a dystopian future where children are commodified, being a little too bizarre for wide appeal. The manga itself has its own set of problems requiring some getting used to. Though the trailer looks great, the story's surreal execution will likely attract a dedicated subset of anime fans, but I think that's it. Watch Sanda if you're a fan of offbeat, genre-bending anime that aren't afraid to get weird. If you appreciated the surreal introspection of Beastars, this might scratch a similar itch. But if you're looking for a conventionally structured series, Sanda might not be for you. If you enjoyed this video, then do consider subscribing to my channel for more.